I'm Jennifer Beeston. Today I want to cover with you the 3 main ways I see borrowers destroy their own loan potential. So these are things that make loans blow up in the middle. This is the stuff I commonly see. We warn people in the beginning not to make these mistakes, but you know, sometimes people just don't listen. So if you're thinking of buying a home or you have a friend that's buying a home, know these 3 things so that it doesn't happen to you, okay? So the number 1 reason a buyer can blow up their loan is by lying, okay? So I get the lying one more than I would like. Here's the deal. So if you're paying alimony or child support, we are going to find out. Even if you say no on the application that you don't, we will find out. Okay? As a lender, we have to double check everything. So if you're divorced, we're generally going to ask for a divorce decree and the marital separation agreement, and that's going to lay it all out. We also need you to be honest about if you're married or not. I actually had a client who marked on his application that he was not married. He was married. When asked, hey, so all of the public records say you're married, like what's the deal? He said his women were his business, quote. Okay, so here's the deal. Don't lie to your lender. We always find everything out. If we know everything up front, we can do the best job for you. But if you don't tell us stuff about private loans or commercial equity lines that are tied to your property or any host of things, we will find out, and it can totally bite you in the middle of the transaction. Okay, so that's number 1. Don't lie to your lender. We always find out everything because we have to double, triple check everything. Trust me, we don't want to be detectives, but honestly, I could give a PI a run for his money, as could my team, okay? And then the second thing is, don't quit your job. Seriously, what in the world? People quit their job. It is the craziest thing. And like, every time I hear about it, and it's not always my clients because I feel like I've scared them to death about that one, but whenever I hear it, I'm like, you're kidding, right? So here's what happens. People get their loan approval, so they assume everything's done, and they quit their job, generally to move, which I always think is interesting. Like, you don't need to quit your job to move. Like, I've moved a couple times, I have a job, and like, you can do both at the same time. I promise you really can. But they don't think we're gonna find out. Well, here, everybody, let me tell you how lenders work. So we verify your employment twice during the transaction. Once at the beginning, and then second time is right before funding, okay? And what happens is people quit their job after approval, or they decide to become self-employed. That one's my favorite, because then we call to verify their employment. They no longer work there. I call and I'm like, hey, Bob, you don't work there anymore. And I hear, oh yeah, Jen, I decided to start my own business. That was a loan. Did you see it blow up? It just blew up. So here's the deal. With your approval, you are approved based off of all the information you gave us, not changing. So if something changes, that approval is no longer good, okay? So remember that. Now the third thing, and this is one that lenders across the country see all the time, realtors see it, it's like a, you know, it's almost, it seems like a myth because we all joke about it so much, but it happens at least twice a year. Please don't buy a car during the transaction, please, or any large debt. Like, don't buy another house while we're in the middle of a loan and not tell me, or a car, because we find out again. So right before funding, once again, we do a soft pull on your credit in order to see if you've accrued any new debt. So if you bought a boat, or you bought a car, or you just spent $40,000 at Restoration Hardware, we are gonna find it. And that can change your debt to income, because now we have this new payment we're contending with. So if your debt to income was already tight, then guess what just happened again? Do you want me to do that in slow-mo? Okay, so those are the 3 big things that I see blowing up loans every single day across the country. So if you are buying or if you're getting a loan, please remember, don't lie to your lender. We find everything out. We don't really enjoy finding everything out. It's usually the worst part when we have to call you about it, but just tell us everything up front and we'll make it work. We'll try to find a way to make it work, okay? Honesty is the best policy. The second thing is, don't quit your job. please don't quit your job. Don't change your job. Don't do anything about your job without talking to your lender first, because the odds of it affecting your approval are huge. And third, don't accrue any big debt while you're in the process, because remember, we're double checking everything. So we will find out about that car, we will find out about that boat, and we will find out about all the new furniture you bought. So I hope these tips have helped you, and I hope that you don't become a victim of one of the 3 buyer bombshells. Thanks.